Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. You have shown up on my Tackle It series, and for me, tackling it is working on some projects, some whips and everything that have been around for quite some time. Some of them are like a decade, and today we're going to look in this bin. I'm going to see if maybe I regret or don't regret pulling that out and getting prepped beforehand, but I'm going to pull this one out. What we're going to look at right now is I got some progress done on my Miranda sweater. And the Miranda sweater was tucked in a bin just like this for the last close to 3 years. And I started this sweater at least a decade ago. So I am getting some progress on it and totally thrilled. So let's see, I got more of the sleeves done. And if you've been around for a while, you know sleeves, yeah, that's where I slow down. That's where I come to a screeching halt and then move on to something else is pretty much what that is. I've been told or suggested that maybe I should just make some vests. I don't want a vest. So there we go. Look at this. Look how long that sleeve is now. Yesterday I was about to there, so I got quite a bit done last night. Totally thrilled. And it's just coming right along. It is coming right along. So thrilled with that. I'll finish off that sleeve. Let's see. Here's what I've got left. This was 100 grams. Let's see, where am I at now? All right, so it looks like I've got 44 grams left. So I've gone through quite a bit of that skein, and this is all since grabbing this from one of those bins. And that's what this series is about, is to grab some of the things, finish some things if you can, right? We know not everything's going to get finished. Pull out some things that you just know you're not going to do anything with. And the other stuff, just kind of do a round or two. Do a row, do a round, whatever. Sooner or later, if you continue that, it will get done. Come on, buddy. So that is what I'm doing. My puppy is like back and forth. The feral one, yeah, he's a little feral guy. He might jump in my lap. Maybe not because I'm talking. He's, like I said, very scared, very feral. So he's running around. So I promised I wouldn't look in this one until we looked at it together. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? Let me see. Probably should have pulled this out beforehand, but I think, yeah, it fits over. All right, so here we go. We're not going to pull out everything just like we did on the last one. Ooh, look at that. It's full of stuff. Well, I guess we should see what that brown thing is. All right, I'm guessing it's another sweater. What do you think? You have another sweater here? How close was I on this sweater before I gave up on it and shoved it in a bag? Because we've only been in this house right now 3 years. These are a lot older than 3-year projects. Like the Miranda sweater, that was about 2013, 2014 when I started that. So, and I'll have the pattern linked down below. For those that have not seen the other videos, that is one of those that has a hood on it. If you wanted to do the hood, you also can do the kangaroo pouch, and the sleeves are optional as far as long sleeve or just vest style. Of course, I don't want vest style, although I don't really enjoy making sleeves, so whatever. All right, so what is this? Yeah, it looks like a sweater. Do I have a pattern for it? Probably not, but look at that. I've got a nice neckline. Okay, that's cool. Hey, look at this. I'm ready for sleeves. I am ready for sleeves. And it looks like I've got binding off down there. I don't think I like that. That is a seed stitch bind off, or a seed stitch on the bottom. I don't think I like that. I think, if I put this back on the needles, I'm going to have to pull that back. I don't think I like that. Let's see. Okay, so nice yarn, these 2 partials, and this is Patton's Classic Wool Worsted Weight. I'm guessing I used 8s on this. It doesn't have needles in it, but as a worsted weight, I probably did. This is 90% wool, 7% acrylic, 3% viscose, 100 grams equals 3.5 ounces. And what is the yardage? Ooh, tickled my nose. What is the yardage? I don't know. It's got to be, they're 210 yards. So 210 yards, 192 meters. All right, just a good worsted weight wool blend yarn. Perfect. So I've got plenty of yarn left to do the sleeves. I've got enough to go down and try. Well, I'm not really I don't have something that should be tried on with it. I wonder if this even fits me. I mean, might. I'll try it on a different time period. It doesn't really work with this top. It's a little bulky. Looks like I did some waist shaping there. A little bit. Either that or I had some accidents. No, it's even on both sides. I don't like that bottom. I do not like that at all. So it does indent right here. So I did do some attempt at some waist shaping. But this is, and then when I put on this ribbing, it kind of goes, it's like a little bulge right here. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, it's on both sides. I don't like that at all. I think I'm going to have to pull out at least all of that moss stitch that I've got down there. Yeah, that's not that. Yeah, I obviously thought it was a good idea at the time. I don't know. And the neck being done, that's nice. So I'll have to try that on, see how well that fits, how that rides. And it looks like I should have enough yarn to go ahead and finish this one. So yet another abandoned sweater at the sleeves. Another one. And it also looks really short. That looks really short. I think if I did that with the amount of yarn I have left, if nothing else, at least take this and make that part longer, I think. I like them a little bit longer now. I'm not sure what year I started this. It's nice. I like the yarn. I like the tweed. And it looks like a really comfortable, warm sweater. I do like that. Look at that brown tweed. Isn't that pretty? Look at the colors on that. That's gorgeous. So, yeah, this can go in the rotation. So it's something. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, so this, I remember what this is. This is one of the One Skein Wonder books, the baby one, I think. It's knit. I should have the yarn enough for it. It's in its little bag. How far did I get? This is a baby boy something. And, you know, we're having... Okay, well, I just pulled the needles completely out of whatever it was that I was doing. So they're not attached to anything. I don't know what size needles I was using. So I just have a black block right here. And this is pretty cool. I think this is like a child's cardigan. I think it's called Hanson. I think that's what it's called. Not positive. It's in one of the One Skein Wonder baby books. This was a child that was being born, not a relative of ours, just a friend. You know how that goes. And obviously, their son didn't get it. Their son is probably in like grade school, at least. So I don't think he needs it. I don't know what size needles I was using. It's a very tight gauge. Look at that. Look at that. That is stretchy. It's nice. That's a stretchy, nice fabric. These are the two front pieces of it. And yeah, what did I do with the needles? And it's supposed to be something like that as a cardigan. I don't know. I think this is probably going to be ripped out. I don't know the size needles, how far I was, or something like that. I'm not really sure. I could look at my books again because I do remember it coming from the One Skein book. I have enough yarn to deal with it. This yarn is a baby. It's a 55% nylon, 45% acrylic, 180 yards. It can be washed. It can be dried. You can iron it. That's surprising. Needles, they're saying using a size 6. Pretty sure I didn't use a size 6 on that. That looks pretty small. I don't know. I'm not really sure other than that. So I think we're looking at a... Even though we've got a baby boy coming, I think this is going to be a pull back type of a situation. I like the feel of it, but I don't think I'm going to finish that. So I'm going to have to just pull that back, rewind the yarn, put it into use some other way, and just move on from there. And there's a bunch of other stuff in here that we'll get into in other weeks. Oh, let's see. Ooh, look, I got colorful stuff. Look at that. Look at those. I've got some hexagons. Do I have enough to do anything with? How many do I have? Oh, there's another one. There's another one. Okay. That's all of them. Look at these bright hexagons. This is Red Heart yarn. Premier also has a yarn like this, much softer than the Red Heart, but the same colors. Looks gorgeous. Love the colorway. So I've got 1, 2, 3, sound like the owl, 4, 5, ooh, isn't that cool? 6, 7. So I think even with 7 of them, there's got to be a project I can do with 7. What do you think? Or a portion of them, even if I don't use all 7, that I can do with a portion of them. There has to be. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come on. You can come here. He really wants to come here, but the box is in the way. But I think that there's something that I can do with that. I think this could be turned into something, whether I keep it or I give it away. I know I've got some of those charts that show how many squares to make a box, a purse, a this or that, you know, all the different ways of doing that. There's got to be something around that with the hexagons also that you can do, and to show how many you would need to make something. Yeah, I think I could do like a bag. I think that might be enough. I don't know if it's the 7 that I would need, or it's something weird with the way that you fold them around each other and sew them together. Like it's the, you know, the edge ones are on the front and the back kind of a situation. I think this can be turned into a usable project, even as is. And I think that's the route to go with this. The intention, of course it was. The intention was to make a blanket at the time. Well, I used the other red, not that I can't get more Red Heart yarn or a different yarn. I used the other Red Heart yarn that I had in this color for a cardigan for one of the granddaughters. So I don't have that yarn anymore. I used it, which is pretty cool because I used it, right? I wasn't just saving it and hoarding it. I used it. So this can be something. I don't know. Do you want to go through some more stuff? Do you want to look at a few other things? I mean, we can. It's not a matter that I'm going to like just jump on and do that. Here's one. I know I have shown this one before since having the channel and promptly shoved it back in the bin. I don't know what else is in the bin. I remember pulling this out and showing this, going, why didn't I finish this? And it's daunting, so I pushed it back in the bin. So this is gorgeous, beautiful lace in my colors. Of course it's my colors, right? This is 2 lace pieces. I do remember that. And I've got a bunch of needles attached to it, right? I have needles. Look at that. Look, I have a needle on that side and come back. And I have a needle here. So I have live stitches. I have a needle on both sides. Look at that. Look how sheer that is. Isn't that amazing? So they are a lot wider than they appear, you know, all scrunched. It would need to be blocked. I remember, it's a tangled mess. I remember it's supposed to have like a beaded bind off, you know, putting some beads on the end and doing that. And that's the part that I'm down to the finishing where you just bind it off and turn it into the scarf. You know, you're attaching, I think you're attached together also. Something along that. It's right there at the bind off. I mean, look how gorgeous this is. Look at that. Just the double colors and everything, and just the wrap together. And I mean, how stunning. All that is either get some beads to do the bind off or do a different bind off and block it. And it's stunning. So obviously that was too daunting, probably because I wanted to put the beads on it. And I'm not sure if I have the beads. Oh, I have some beads. I do have some more beads that I know where they are. With the, I'm gonna pull over, I'm gonna reach over. With, let me see. I'm leaning hardcore. Here we go. And this, right? This is one of, I'm just gonna be all tangled in lace now. So this, I don't know if they're the right color, but I have some beads. Come out, where'd they go? Did I not put them back in here? Did I not, what'd I put with the beads? This color beads, right? I have those. I have a couple little vials of them, and oh, I probably put them back in the box down there. But I have some of those that I could use. That might work. Or just not worry about the beads at all. I mean, this is gorgeous. This is stunning. So it's just the finishing. It's literally the finishing. And this thing started years ago. Of course I did. And this much knitting knitting just a full skein on the bias of a full skein of lace weight yarn of some gorgeousness. I don't remember what it was. No ball band, but it is stunning. I do remember that. I think it might be a Malabrigo lace, not positive, but it is just absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, it's the double scarves, and that's where I'm at, and they are on a bias, so they're on an angle. Look how airy these are. And then how do I block them? Because they would need to be blocked. And what blocking does is it opens up the lace. I know this doesn't have like some frilly patterns, but it opens it up. It lets the fabric breathe. It flattens it out. It's just stunning. And you can see that. It's got the big triangle because it's, you know, on the bias. So yeah, that's as far as I got in this bin last time I looked at it, because this was sitting on top and I shoved it in, got my hand in there and shoved it down in, and didn't do anything with it. So this is going to be one of those, set aside a couple hours. You're like, it shouldn't take a couple hours. Oh, you underestimate the power of procrastination. Oh, yes, it will. Set aside a couple hours to just concentrate on this. Either get the beads or just bind off and block it. Because there's nothing wrong with that. I do like that idea too. You know, I think they're supposed to be, oh, do I have a provisional cast on? Doggone it, that's why. That's why I have a provisional cast on both ends. So this is supposed to be grafted together. Ew. That's why I shoved it in the bag. If it was just binding off, I could do that. But I have to do something else to it. I think I can find the pattern. I do believe it was a free pattern. I'm pretty sure I can find the pattern. But yeah, I've got provisional end on both of those. I can't leave that, right? That's not a pretty selvage. That's because it's not supposed to be there, right? That's supposed to be pretty easy for you to tell what needs to be picked off. So that explains it a little bit more, that these are both on that. And I think they're supposed to be grafted together. I believe that's the case, is the one is supposed to be grafted to the other, and then this is supposed to have beads. Something like that. Yeah, now we know why it got shoved back in the bag, because that's a lot. It's like, okay, I did all the fun part, you know, the lace just continuing until you just can't stand it any longer. But that is gorgeous. That is so light and sheer, and it feels amazing, and it's gorgeous. And I'm gonna see if I can find that pattern. I'm gonna shove it back in the bag and pretend like we didn't have this conversation. It's gonna happen. Yeah, that's wow. That is, you know, wow, that's something. Was that in this bag? I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna put it in the bag anyway. There we go. I don't think it was in this bag. It's not really fitting too well, but I'm shoving it in there. Okay. You can really shove lace down. You can really shove that stuff down there. There you go. I pierced the bag. Needles are dangerous. Yeah, so there's that. There's a lot more in there, but I'm not gonna, I think that's enough for right now. I'm not gonna play with that right now. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that. That's what happened last time. That was on top. I pulled that out. I looked at it and I showed it, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening. That's not happening right now. That's I'm gonna just go back to my happy place. There you go. There's nothing to see here. I guess I'm gonna work on Miranda for a little while longer. She's been coming along nicely. There you go. Some of those other things, I think they're project haunts. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's a little disappointing on that provisional cast on. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Obviously, that's part of the pattern, and I think it's fantastic. But if it wasn't a provisional cast on, I could ignore it. Oh, wait, that's right. You can't necessarily, because it's stockinette and the way that it is. I think that's why you're supposed to have beads probably on both sides to kind of weight it down just a little bit. So the provisional cast on, I'm supposed to take that off, put those on needles, right? Because they're live stitches, put them on needles and do the bind off with beads. I think that's how it goes. And you're doing that on both sides. It gives a little bit of bling. It looks really pretty. It adds some weight to it because that's going to be a curl monster. And it just, you know, it gives something to that whole airy, earthy effect, and those two colors blending together. I mean, it's definitely my colors. I know I'm wearing pink today, but it's definitely my colors. It needs to be done. If I had a friend around that, you know, I'm like, here, do it for me, I would do that. But I can't think of anyone who likes me that much. You know, that's a lot. That's right there. It's like, wow, you know, I'm not really sure. I don't really really know on that. I think Miranda and I are just gonna be buddies. I think I'm just gonna be happy with my win on this, that I have the majority of a sleeve, and be really happy that there's significant progress while I decide on the other things. The brown sweater has a lot of potential. I have no idea what I was doing on that so-called waist shaping. I think that's when I was starting to learn how to do it, kind of trying to, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So if I pull out all of that bottom band, because that's definitely a no-go. That's a good idea, but it wasn't executed well. And go up to remove the waist shaping or put it in properly, because that has a little bump going in, and then a bump out, and then it goes down. No. Was I trying to incorporate fat rolls? I don't think so. So that's a no-go. I don't like that. So that's going to have to need a little bit of surgery on that, but that shouldn't be too difficult. It does look like it was just plain stock in that, and then do a ribbing at the bottom, right? Just, just traditional ribbing is fine. I don't know what I was thinking. Probably because I actually do really like the moss stitch. I like the moss stitch and the double moss stitch. I think it's great texture, and it just adds a lot of beauty to a project, but I don't think it looks good where I put it. So yay me on going out on a limb and trying something. I think that's part of those failures, right? You go out and you try, and you're like, that's not good. No, that's not good. So that needs to go away. So decisions, right? I think that the baby sweater is a pull-out because I don't know the needles or anything. And yeah, I'm not going to finish that one. And so that's okay. The lace is still scary. It's still scary. I wish it wasn't scary because it's gorgeous. And I could wear that year round. I mean, that is just so pretty. So that's scary right now. So I got to get courage and confidence for that. And yeah, so, and then hexagons. If you have some things, I have 7 hexagons, seven hexagons. Whoa. If you have something that or one of those little charts and everything that says, this is what you can do, right? You know, how you can sew them together to where it actually is a project of some sort, bring it on. Man, I'm telling you, I'd love to just sew those together, turn it into something, and be done with it, right? Call it done. If it's a little bag, then it can be a bag for one of the kids, or what have you, a little project bag, whatever. Glow in the dark. It doesn't matter. I don't think it glows. But you get the point. It's pretty bright. It's pretty obnoxious. I like bright and obnoxious. We know that. So that's pretty cool to have some decisions and stuff on that. But that's where I'm at. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make any progress on those soon, and I kind of got to glance a little bit deeper. I'm like, I'm not going there today. I did 3 things today. I'm not going there. There's a lot. So we'll have to tackle that next Tuesday. Hopefully I can get a little more confidence to get into that and continue to work on some of the projects, getting progress. I mean, the Miranda sweater, this is 44 grams. It was 100 grams. I have gone through 56 grams of yarn on this project since we discovered it in the bin. And that sleeve is pretty close. It is. This is not the full length of the sweater. Nope, it's not. But that sleeve is pretty close to where it needs to be. I'm down to 46 stitches on the sleeve, and I think it's down to 40 stitches every 10 rounds. I'm decreasing 2 stitches. So I've got a little bit more of the decreases, and then going down to just a ribbing on that, and that sleeve will be done. So that's not much left. That really isn't. That's a lot. It's a lot of progress, and that makes me really happy. And I thank you again for all of the wonderful words of encouragement, telling me to just get the sleeves done now and then make all the other decisions. And then I'll be over that part that seems to stymie me. And then I'll have a beautiful sweater, hopefully before it turns warm. Although Colorado's been weird. We just had a snowstorm where I worked from home because it was accident prone, ice, snow, everything else. And the next day, I think it was up to like 40, 50, something like that. I mean, crazy. Didn't even wear a coat today. But I had it because it's Colorado, and you're not very bright if you don't take it with you. Because you just don't know. You just don't. It just does its own thing. So I'm looking forward to getting this done to where I can actually wear it. So how are you doing on your Tackle It projects? Are you playing along? Are you doing little bits of improvement in your life? I mean, it doesn't have to be the crafting. It can be, it doesn't have to be, but just little nuggets, little bits of improvement. That's what I'm trying to do, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So please join me, have fun, and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be, and I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.